Crypto friends, it's the Crypto Sniper coming at you for a weekend edition. Yep. So I wanted to let Friday go away. I'd said I'd come back at you all, and in this video we will cover XRP. Yes, people have been waiting. When XRP? When XRP? Yes. We wait for something to happen, and then we'll come and talk to you. And it needs to be meaningful. And there has been meaningful things happening. We're going to talk about Gensler. Oh, Gary Gensler, the little rodent. With the little rodent ears. Yep, we'll talk about him. It certainly seems like he may be standing down. The feeling and the manner and the mood music certainly seems that way. I'm not sure we've had an official resignation just yet. I won't trumpet it until it happens, but it certainly seems like he's easing his way towards the door. And why do we say that? So, breaking, Gary Gensler looks to be leaving the SEC. Well, this is how he was talking in a speech. He said, "Before I close, I want to say something about the SEC and its staff." So this sounds very like, oh, let me be kind and leave a lovely bequest and memory. It's a remarkable agency. The staff and commission are deeply mission-driven, focused on protecting investors, maintaining fair, orderly and efficient markets, and facilitating capital formation. Oh, yes, indeed. They actually stand in the way often and throw masses of red tape in people's ability to facilitate capital formation. But anyway, the lawyers, accountants, economists, political policy experts, let's just say, and other staff generally could make more money working somewhere else. Oh, but they do, Gary. They come there for the experience to make contacts. Then they go to the investment banks and then they talk to their mates that they left behind in the SEC and push all sorts of dirty deeds through. It's all part of the training. It's part of their apprenticeship to later milk their experience there. Don't you worry. They choose, though, to work on behalf of, it's like public servants. It's like when Tony Blair used to say, I've always wanted to be just a public servant. I want to be a servant to the public. Yeah, anyway, it's been a great honor to serve with him, doing the people's work and ensuring that our capital markets remain the best in the world. So, my mom, my dad never worked in finance or even completed college. Oh, boo-hoo, little bit of a emotional history story. My story, we came from a poor background. When they invested their savings or family, they benefited from the securities market's common sense, the rules of the road. Oh, we're going into the superhighway of surveillance finance now. That's going to be the new rules of the road. We get to see your stuff, as does Mossad, of course, absolutely spying on every single American politician. And now you get to be part of that experience. You don't even need to be a politician. You can be spied on too. Yay! The SEC's effective administration of well-regulated security markets promote trust. It's what brings investors and issuers to the market like fans to a football game. Yeah, let's go watch footy. Oh, Gary. Oh, Gary, you're such a rodent. You're a weasel of weasel. This is the most weaselly little miserable little pippy in your pants that I've ever seen. What a rodent. Anyway, it sounds like a long goodbye, and one can only assume that he will indeed be standing down. So I'm pretty good with the eventuality of that, but it ain't banked till it happens. And sometimes, beware friends, beware. Sometimes you buy on the rumor and people sell on the fact. So you'll need new fundamentals once it becomes fact, or we first have a surge. It depends how much it gets priced in. Maybe some people are a little bit cautious. There's been too many cry wolves on XRP. Put up your hand if you feel there's been too many cry wolf moments. Is it now? Is it going to surge now? Is it going to start? And then it fizzles out. So maybe we've only priced in 30% of the little rodent that had such a poor childhood and is so glad to have had the safety of the rules of the road, and all of this, is gone. Maybe when he goes, we get a proper follow-through surge. And I think in due course, as other positive things happen, and don't forget, yes, there's an umbilical cord between this Jupiter planet, which is the absolutely wrecked financial system, which has ridiculous market caps of quadrillions of derivatives, but even bond and FX markets run into the hundreds of trillions, potentially quadrillions themselves, that have got to move into this new digital realm. Now, that's not all going to happen in a year, my friends, not a day, a week, a month, or a year. We're going through a decade and a half experience, and there'll still be little old grannies in the old system that never quite made it over, and that they'll maintain legacy systems for a while. So that doesn't mean crypto gets to become Jupiter in 1 year. But market caps do need to expand. And that's why you're here. You want to be part of the jet-fueled ride, don't you? Market caps must expand. I mean, Bitcoin round about 1.75 trillion. I think the all total is just, through 3 trillion. That ain't good enough. That ain't good enough. It's got to get bigger, and you want to be on that bus. I'm here to help you get that expansionary force on the team. The early adopters win. But have no illusions. This is not your freedom. This is not your freedom. Expect those capital gains, unrealized capital gains. Who knows? We got away with that this time round with Harris not getting in. But it's been mooted in Europe. It's been mooted in many other places. So be careful, be careful. They will not want you to keep necessarily everything you might make. And that's before we've even had a chance to make it. And that's where XRP, the token, comes in. So let's go and talk and look at the footprints in the sand. So nice and interesting point. So many people said, what? $19, by the way. We've upgraded it. It's almost 20. It's $19 when it meets its upside HVF target. If it does so, possibilities, not guarantees. So there'll be a probability meter, but you are moving. And one of the reasons why we waited to put this video out is that you were getting tipsy, super close to that third high. And we thought, will you cross it? What was the third high? 94,799. Call it 94.8. And you traded through that and you're on 96.8. That is a triggering event. So we get to be the guy telling you that the third high in this incredibly lengthy, low volatility that broke everybody's balls. I had the comments in the crypto channel, when XRP, when you're going to update on XRP, you said XRP would go up. I'm like, yeah, we're all waiting, bud. We're all waiting for that bus. And then maybe 3 will come along. You know how it is. But it was super low vol, super long time. You can see how the vol was killed on this, and new dip low. I'm showing you here. What am I showing you? The volatility, historical volatility for this token. The lowest ever historical volatility moment was here, roughly after this incredibly low period. And then you just started to walk it out, a final dip, and then you pumped. Boom, there's your move. By the way, just a small comment on that. You're at about 0.00696 at our axis there. If you got in on the just in time, and it was 0.009. So that was not even a full cent. Let's call it a cent when you might have got in. How high did it trade? $3. Let's get the number for you exactly. $3.30. I think it was 31. $3.31.7. So imagine you were a cent. That's a 331 X move. So those that say there's no way you're getting to 20, you could go quite a lot further on overperformance. You could actually go quite a bit further. And that's a bit of a greed reflex. Ooh, FOMO. Francis will make me a millionaire. It's going further. I'll see the comments in future videos. He said it can go further. It might, could, possibilities, probabilities, who knows. Don't forget, we're only at 3 trillion as a market cap for this replacement financial system. That's right. That's what it is. It was always planned that way. It was always going to be that way. We told you from the very first beginning, when everybody was all gooey-eyed and liberty and escaping central banks. How many of you still think that? How long did it take you to get to where we were? Well, that's why we are there before the others. Be early, be early. And this potential move is the one we've been waiting for. And it ties in. And it's the old Trump trade. Trump trade is actually long XRP more than it is long dollar, more than it is, all the other things. It's a crypto bull. And given the potential change on the SEC and the sudden friendliness and Elon and all of these clowns that are all captured statists working for the greater good of the new financial system, these actors and actresses that are being put in front of you, we don't even know what gender they are. Anyway, the last time you were this low, boy, oh boy, we hit it and then we hung in it and we hung in it. It was an extended period of low volatility. That's why you've all been getting so impatient. That's why it's like when moon. But this is a triggering event and it's important. Now, I need to tell you something. We have a token that actually has similar properties, only better in our community. That's right. And it's also liquid. It's not outside the top 25. You're free to guess in the comments below. Who be it? Who be it? Who be it? Which one be it? Tell us who you think it is that we are going to take that will actually, in our opinion, outperform even XRP and is shown to be more robust in periods of downturns as well. But nonetheless, XRP is still going to do great, potentially, and it has triggered. And the first interim is here at about $1.67. The second interim is around $4.50. And we get to 20. That's going to be a great old move for the bull market. And that would represent about a 20x from, if we assume a dollar around about now, we had 96 cents. That's about, by the way, it was 0.009, not yet a cent. Now it's 100 times higher. It's still 100 times higher from the last HVF, guys. Despite the chronic underperformance, it is still 100 times higher, having at one point going 331 point. It's 100 times higher, and going to $20 is actually a fairly modest 20x. Now, to describe that as a fait accompli would be very, very dangerous. My overall take is that we're around about August, September, October of the soon coming year, 2025, we'll probably have some form of topping for Bitcoin, which is probably round about when XRP might top. It ran a little late in its bull market. In short, it made its high right on the end of the year. And it started running kind of late in 17. Bitcoin had already started moving more a little earlier, and then it played mega catch up. So it can super surge, it can lag and super surge. And I think these events with the SEC, one of the key beneficiaries of the big market caps has got to be XRP. Now, there's other tokens. I mean, I think LBC was wrecked by the SEC. We were using it on Odyssey, and they went with tuppence in the end. Richard Hart might be happy with the Trump election. I think he got dragged into something. There's many tokens. In fact, there's 18 states, American states, that are suing the SEC because of overreaching. So they tried to control everything. This is it. We are the big boss of all things, and you get a lawsuit, and you get a lawsuit, and you get a lawsuit. You can't do this, you can't do that. We're in charge here. Big boss, big boss, big boss, boss of everything. 18 different states. That is not individuals in those states, the actual states themselves that are suing them for overreach, and a lot of that in the crypto space. So you could get an unleashing. This actually, by the time we get an alt market, could be one of the most violent ones. Woohoo! Bit of FOMO there. You see what I did there? Well, I feel it's true because you're getting the shackles removed. This was not a great alt market, it has to be said. The 2021 was not a great alt market for a number of tokens. They failed to meet the highs of 2017, which was a good alt market and a great bull market for Bitcoin and the alts. And this has allowed us, and actually that's a good thing, that postponement. So Gensler was kind of a cock blocker for an entire cycle. And that's led to a really chomping at the bit tokens because we get these macro HVFs like that. That allow for a supersized continuation pattern for which, as I suggest, the overperformance could be absolutely out there. So we need to see those highs before, around about a year from now, about 10, 11 months from now. We're in November. Yeah, I think you want to see a real surge coming through. And that, my friends, could be very, very good for you. But the difference is, you're going to get taxed, you're going to get capital gains, you're going to get hit, you're going to do everything. That's why you need to think about your future and your wealth that you're making and how to protect it. It's one of the core things we do in our community. Link below, book a call. Start preparing for the profits you may make. It's too late once you've made them in your own personal name, living in the good old states of America, living in the UK, living in Australia. They have your number. And all the exchanges play the game now. You should have realized this. So much for that liberty and avoiding unnecessary extraction and all of that. That was sales juice to get you in. It's exactly the opposite. This is a new system that they're setting up that they're transporting you into. Anyway, big surge. Then we had the volatility consistently come down. You didn't get the super spike. You got a lower volatility bump there. You're getting lower, lower, lower. In fact, this minor bump over here is just a little bit of a mini short-term possible legal outlet. We actually traded that small upside only and grabbed some of the profits, thankfully, only to watch it to come fizzling all the way back down. And we did say maybe if it continues here, and that was a cry wolf moment, 100%. Put your hand up. We cried wolf. Oh, we cried wolf because it coulda, it mighta, but it didn't. And the legal case, it clearly wasn't going to be received legally. It's being resolved politically with Drumpf. That's right, that's his real name, D-R-U-M-P-F. Of course, he's a name changer. That will tell you all you need to know. But for now, he's working for us, pumping our bags potentially, but it's not for you. It's for the surveillance financial system, and you need to profit out of it as much as humanly possible. So that's where we are. So this volatility is starting to climb, and you are knocking on $1. You are knocking on the $1. And can I tell you, actually, XRP's time above $1 is indeed rather limited. Let's make sure we get this right. That looks like the blue line of $1. Let's make damn sure I'm nailing it. There we go. Yep, $1. And you've literally, if I just draw it for you over an extended period of its life, and we are on a fortnightly chart, by the way, 1 candle, 2 candle, 3 candle, and this one's already back under. So you had 3 candles of 2 weeks. That's 6 weeks there. You had a little bobbins there of 3 candles, and then you had a short little spell here where you dipped below there, but you came back. So you had 3 candles, which is about 6 weeks. You've probably only had in total about 12-15 weeks ever above $1 since its inception. And you failed even here to make the dollar, and you are now knocking on that door. That $1 level is seminal, and I would imagine that once you break it, you will come back and revisit it. That's what typically happens technically. That's what typically happens. So don't charge in with mega leverage at $1.20 and wash out and trade 97 cents one more time before it goes, because you'll be busted on your leverage. That is how it might play out. So I think, given the numbers of cry wolves, and it's not just us, it's the market, the expectation, look how sideways this went. You've actually been trapped in this range. Not much. I think the absolute low is around 27, 29 cents, but most of it is here at this level, around about 50 cents. It feels like an eternity for Ripple. This was right down bear markets 2022, middle of 2022 over there. Yep. So we've been treading water for an extended period. So I'm hoping you are seeing this as a positive development. And what you might say, well, what are you doing? Me personally, I've got my favorite crypto token, which is an even better pattern than this one, in my opinion, as a hold. And I have an option on XRP that we sort of looked at getting set up, and we're still looking at a structure for the other one. There was a little bit of a change on how they allowed it. They didn't like aggregated people on small amounts. We're trying to work out another way to get a long-term call option on the other token and potentially double up. But I'm lucky enough to have got away with one here. So I need us to be at the second interim before the October period is over. So let's see if we can really ignite. Remember, this is log scale, guys. It doesn't look far away when you look at it log scale. This is a descending triangle on that volatility. So this has been a volatility crushing event since 2017. And you know what we say. You get lower and you get lower and you get lower. And the third time is a kiss. So once, twice, and 3 times super flat and low. Hopefully now that compression gets a real surge. And I'm hoping that you're going to see a lot of extra money coming, and it's going to be institutions that are going to pump your bags, guys. It's got to be, it's got to be an XRP ETF out of BlackRock. You've got to hope for all of these things, I'm afraid. All these sinners and criminals that are busy helping build your prisons cell for you, for your future financial system. But If we get a major surge here, it's going to involve institutions, is my take as well. Retail is not the ones that are going to pump you and drive you through. But a lot of banks announcing that they're starting to use this. Once it's now allowed and the SEC has now been disbanded, and it's no longer, it's a bad thing to mention XRP and all of that. You'll see some of the banks saying we've been working with, and you're going to get the steady roll of big names saying they've done stuff. That could be very supportive for getting a nice $4.50 surge before this cycle is up, maybe the 20 before this cycle is up. Bear in mind, this doesn't all necessarily have to happen within the same cycle. The time from here, 2017 to the break, and this is a key day, guys. Sniper bringing you not everyday crypto. No, let the other guys do that. Read the news to you every single day. We don't do that. We come and we show up when the big moments happen. The high of literally the last day of 2017 to the triggering event of this pattern is today. It is today. It happened overnight while I was sleeping. We snuck through. That's why I delayed this video by one day. I said I'd do it on Friday. It's coming out on Saturday now because we were almost there. It's happened. You triggered on an upside HVF with a $20 target. We told you what you do with that information is up to you. If you're not in our community, you're on your own there. I hope you make some money and I'll be delighted for you regardless. We aim to serve everyone, not just those that can afford to pay us, but you get a lot more when you're able to get on board. And I think you need to think about also your tax situation, because unlike previous bulls, these guys are 4 years more organized. 4 years more squeezing. You know what happened to CZ and Binance? World Economic Forum going ahead. Well, must extract, must tax. All the little evil little widgets, all the WEF clowns, all of them. They're not your friends. They're here to take money from you. If they've got to make something go up to replace the old system, but if you get any of the good stuff out of it, they're going to make sure they're sitting there with their cap in their hand and a gun saying, stump up, buddy. What have you done? You need to think about the profits you might be making in the future, potentially even when you haven't made them, in what entity, where is it based, etc., etc. Click the link below, become a member of our community for not just making the money. You've got to make it, you've got to protect it, and you've got to hang on to it through what's going to be a reset season where there's going to be max extraction. I should name my name, my new name. There was max headroom on my forehead, the bald head, max headroom. I'm going to be max extraction. I'm going to be here to remind you that that's what they do, that's what they're after. They want your shekels. They want everyone. They don't want you to keep too much. Unrealized this. Don't worry. That's still going to come. Anyway, back to this. This is a triggering event. And in terms of days and times, you're talking probably December the 31st, in that week of the end of the year, because literally that fortnight is on the line of 2017. You're talking all to 18 that this entire pattern happened. All through 19, all through 20. All through 21 and all the FTX mayhem, all through 22, all through 23, and most of, what day are we today? It's the 16th of November. 16th of November. So we're on the 16th of November. You're talking most of 11 and a half months of the next year. So you've got 11.5 months. Call it a year. And for rough, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years in setup. 7 years in setup. Now, I think, like this was exceedingly quick. It didn't matter that it took that long to set up the structure. It did it exceedingly quick. I hope for something similar. It's never quite as fast and as hectic as the first time because it takes more money. The market cap is bigger. All of these things. So even if it's kind of like this, we will still get there kind of by October. That is not as steep as that. And it's easier to pump a smaller market cap than it is to pump a big one. But we will probably get some degree of reaction at the 4 level once you've run the 455, possibly a bit of a pullback. Hopefully we finish in this cycle. In this cycle where the peak top, as I say, around about a year from now, 11 months from now, I expect Bitcoin to peak out. So now you have it. Now you know it. The triggering event is marked with this video today. By the way, free course for understanding some of the basics of HVF a snippet of a video, shorter, a lot shorter than everything we do, 3 to 5 to maybe 6 minutes every day for a week, giving you a little bit of an insight on what it is we do. Deliver it. Grab the free course, put your email in there and receive it. We send no marketing or spam. We send one newsletter. We never sell our list. So that is our promise to you. Go and enjoy it. Go and learn free from me. Also, if you feel ready to communicate with us and you realize the alt bull run is now very close to starting to get super interesting, and that the triggering event of Gensler being thrown out will be amazing for all alts, especially for XRP, then it's time to also think about how you're going to hold on to any possible profits even before you've made them. And that's kind of important. So book a call on the link below. You said it with friendly face. People that have been there, done it, who've sat the dry years out with us, have been in the good years, etc. Talk to someone, not a salesperson, a community member just like us that has been with us for an extended period, and he will tell you his experience and show what we have to offer you in terms of both our service and what we can do for you. Remember, it is reset season, guys. The old system is in a state of death and it is being deflated. The continual rise on the 10-year is actually devaluing that debt. And who's a buyer on that debt? Tether. Tether's now using it as collateral. Interesting point, by the way, that all the heat on Tether ended in 2020 once they decided to start buying, you guessed it, treasuries at the top of the market just after we called a turn in the treasury market. Isn't that funny how there becomes this new buyer of this garbage profit for collateral purposes? This is a way, the umbilical cord that is going to be there to transfer the money before all things get severed. You know, umbilical cords do get severed, and I do fear that that collateral is one of the worst. Why didn't they choose gold? Ooh, nobody wants them to do that. They'd still be getting a lot of hassle if they chose gold. And by the way, gold's got up, you guessed it, 25% this year. It's far better collateral than bonds, government bonds, especially when they're throwing them down a new trillion every 81.5 days. But we digress. So there you go. A good setup for XRP. It has broken. There's an even better one that meets higher criteria. I want to show you this XRP structure just on the non-leverage basis. My apologies, non-log basis. So that's it. That's XRP without the log scaling, and you can see that, you know, the spikes are getting quite significantly less. So it's got a lot of lifting to do just to get to the $4, which is beyond the previous high. Is a lot bigger task than it looks when you're looking at it in log scale. You got to get from here, you got to get across the one, and you've got to get through to $4.55 to make that second interim. And then of course the target is very close to the $20, around 19, and that itself is also a lot further away when you look at it in the arithmetic sense. However, there could be an absolute surge of money that needs to come in. I'm going to try pull in that $20. You can see what kind of a move it is. Wow, that's a long old way. But bear in mind the original pattern that is so flat there you can't even see it when it made $3. So that's why we have log scale. It kind of brings the perspective back into the play, and that is why we have it, so that you can see when you have parabolas how things tend to work. Okay, we look forward to you booking a call below to maximize this alt market, which is very important for your wealth. You must maximize and you must preserve. You must do things that will preserve you from extraction in the event, and you must know when the likely market is over so that you do not give back 60-70% of what you made. So many people in bull markets lose half, lose 80%. Some actually end off poorer because they keep longing with leverage all the way down, and they destroy their account entirely. And all you have is this beautiful dopamine rush pumped to the upside, and then absolute depression, mayhem, and self-disappointment. You don't need that journey. You don't need that journey. Leverage is going to hurt you. The move will make you the money. We will show you how to maximize this without losing your head, without getting too greed influence, and to take off in and around the key moments to ensure after this bull market, when there is a crypto bear and the halvening and all of that thing goes back out of season again, that you retain the bulk of what you made close to your high water mark. This is the most important point that most people fail to execute on. Look at me now. This is a really important point. You need to retain close to your high water mark of profits that you make at the very best moment at the high. Think of how big your accounts were in 2017 if you were in crypto back then or before at the localized high, or even if you are new where you were when it was April of 21. Would you like to have had those high watermark numbers today? In many instances, most of you are substantially below. If that is you, you may well benefit from what we have to offer, and making some form of investment towards that end and being in a community that is very focused on executing this correctly will put you in a lot better place and is worth doing. Sometimes you take a step back to go 9 steps forward. Do you understand that? Some people, oh, it's too much money. I can multi. No, it's not. First of all, the value is huge and it's going to cover you for this entire year and alt. Plus, you will understand what we do, and it'll be totally private, custom-made platform. Anyway, we look forward to getting you. If you're not yet ready, go grab the free course. Thank you for watching. XRP triggered over the course of last night when it took out the high here, the relative high 3, and that is a huge moment since the 2017 end of December high. It took out the high of 94 cents, 7.99, and it is now trading 96. And if the dollar falls, that will be a very psychological moment. I'd expect a push past and then a pullback, but thereafter, what will it do? We have 10 months to find out. Will we get $20 in this cycle? I think there's a decent chance. Till next time, thank you for watching. Catch you later. And liking and sharing is a great boon to us, and we appreciate it. Till next time, bye for now.
Tired of profit wipeouts and blown accounts from following trade signal groups and other YouTube channels? Looking for a better way to trade, reduce your stress, and minimize your risk? Become a skilled technical analyst and see the charts and markets in a new light using the successfully proven HVF method by Francis Hunt, while being surrounded and supported by a principled, structured, and experienced community. Enjoy a constructive learning environment while practically trading markets, supported by a bespoke platform run through browser and app, specifically designed to teach and engage you whilst learning and growing as the markets move. This is not a Telegram or Slack signal group. All trade ideas are based on a proprietary technical analysis process honed over decades, which is the HVF method, leading to trade ideas with fast-moving breakouts and tight stops, exact entries and exits, nuanced interim considerations, and ultimately, strong rewards. Submissions are graded and scored by Francis for potential high-quality setups, and we provide bespoke tools to help get the job done properly and with precision. Over time and with focused effort, you'll begin to look at charts and price action just like Francis. Community updates every day by Francis and our 3 webinars a week provide a 360-degree approach, which are presented by our experienced team of trade leaders to spot potential trades. We're a community of self-actualized individuals, spanning the globe and active 24/7, 365. The premium community provides a warm, supportive, and cooperative place for people willing to listen, participate, contribute, and to learn. We've changed thousands of traders' lives. Transform your approach to trading now. Transform your life. Book an introductory call with us on the link below.